Rep City's Legal and Finance Committee held their second reading of a proposed ordinance to ban the sale of what is considered a dangerous drug. The committee is reviewing a city ordinance aimed at banning the sale of tianeptine, sometimes called gas station heroin. The nickname gas station heroin stems from gas stations across the United States selling the product. According to the Food and Drug Administration, the Centers for Disease Control and the National Institutes of Health, marketers sell the substance to stores as a supplement intended to improve diet or brain function. However, they say people can misuse the substance without proper guidance, leading to symptoms similar to opioid overdose and even death. Rep City Ward 2 Alderman Stephen Tamang is a Monument Health physician who specializes in addiction cases and says he's seen the effects of such drugs.
The fact that that could potentially be over the counter in various forms of concentration that you don't know how strong it is, like I said, it's shocking that it exists in its current state.
The resolution to send this proposed amendment to City Council unanimously passed Legal and Finance with the possibility that the ban will take effect by the end of September.